Hello, my friends. This is Lynda Lippin, and welcome to the Pilates Goddess podcast. Hey, Pilates teachers. It's Lynda Lippin here from Pilates Profit Lab and Pilates Teacher Mastermind. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about niching down. As you know, I'm a big fan of niching down. For those of you who have been following me in my businessy posts for a while, I really believe that most Pilates teachers are way too generalized. And by being so general and trying to appeal to everybody, we basically end up appealing to nobody. Because especially now, there's a lot of us and there's a lot of us online. And you really need to stand out as somebody who has a specific focus and has a specific niche. So I want to give you a couple of examples that I think, once you hear them, they're going to make perfect sense to you. So my first example to you is a doctor. So we all have general practitioners and internists who, we see for our annual exams and when we're sick. But as we know, a specialist makes more money than a generalist, okay, right? Your dermatologist or your GYN or your obstetrician or, your oncologist, whoever it is that you need to see as a specialist makes more money, yet has a smaller client population than does the general practitioner. And then if we want to go even further, we can go into surgeons. And surgeons always make more money than general practitioners, although again, their client pool is much smaller. And we all know that specialized surgeons make even more money. So for example, a neurosurgeon will make more money than a general surgeon. A pediatric neurosurgeon is going to make even more money in a smaller client population and be more in demand because there's fewer of them than a standard neurosurgeon. A infant neurosurgeon is going to, again, command more money for a smaller client population than a pediatric neurosurgeon. Again, because it's a more specialized field, there's fewer of them. And so it doesn't matter that there are fewer patients. That specialization, that niche, means that that surgeon is always going to be busy. That surgeon is going to command higher fees for the level of specialization and specialized care that they offer. And they are actually going to be able to pull from a wider geographical area of patients because people will fly in to have their kids seen by a good infant neurosurgeon when that is required. Okay, so you see how this works. Then I'm going to talk to you about my friend Helen. And Helen is actually a LinkedIn coach now, and she kind of teaches people in businesses how to find new clients and find business connections on LinkedIn and how to do that well. But originally, Helen was trained as a reflexologist, right? So she did a lot of work on people's feet. But in marketing herself as a reflexologist, she realized that being in London, she needed to differentiate herself from the other reflexologists in her general area. And that just leaving, brochures and business cards in different spas and salons was not going to cut it. So she developed a specialization in working with pregnant women who were having issues with bloating and swelling and leg and foot edema. Now, that is a very specific client population, but Helen was really good at it. her clients did extremely well and were often able to, not have to take medication that might have been questionable, were much more comfortable and felt better because, when your lower legs and your feet and your ankles are super swollen and you're super pregnant, it's like the worst thing ever. So she developed that specialty and she became extraordinarily busy and never had to lower her pricing because she basically became her area's specialized reflexologist to the pregnant ladies with swelling and bloating. Okay? Worked out really well for her and for them. They got the, care that they needed, and she niched down right into a great client population. I have a good friend, Marty, who I went to graduate school with, and he is a business coach. But his target market, his niche, is financial advisors who make over $1 million a year. So he provides life coaching and business coaching, but only to financial advisors who are pulling in at least $1 million a year. They have a very specific set of issues that they have to deal with. He knows exactly how to navigate them through those issues. He does very well for them, therefore very well for himself, but again, has a very niche down targeted client audience. So these are places where we as Pilates teachers really need to look at what clientele do we want to serve. So for me, on the client side of things, when I'm teaching Pilates, I specialize pretty much in working with women who are over 45. Most of them have osteoporosis. Some who don't have osteoporosis have other issues. They've got joint replacements, they've got back issues, they've got whatever. And then I also have a specialty in working with women on the other ends of the age spectrum with diastasis recti after pregnancy. Okay, so those kind of turned into my two specialized groups. And again, when I work with these folks, it's a smaller market, but they need the work, they crave the work, they're willing to pay well for the work. And it keeps me going, keeps them happy and feeling served, and it's all good going forward. So I really, want you to think about that focus. And if you look at what I do on the Pilates teacher side, I'm very specific that my Pilates business coaching program, Pilates Teacher Mastermind, or Pilates Profit Lab, is really geared towards the experienced Pilates teacher who is suddenly having to pivot her business online and isn't sure how to do that, and also wants to learn all of the other back-end business stuff about how to correctly price things and how to find ideal clients and how to niche down, and how to do all of these other things, as well as, the basics of using Canva and taking online payments and all of that. So, the more I've niched down, basically, the more targeted a market I'm dealing with. I tend to now only attract the clients who I really want to work with and really need the work from me. I have much fewer price objections because by the time clients find me and they've learned a lot from me for free, they're happy to pay for what I have to teach them in a deeper and quicker manner than just following my paid stuff or following my free stuff. And that's really what we all have to do. So don't be scared of niching. Don't be scared of narrowing your market of who you're talking to and who you're serving, because other clients will still find you, okay? But you're more likely to find new clients by talking to your people who you serve well in a very targeted way about how you can get them from A to Z in a quicker and easier way than they could do on their own or with other people they may be working with. So I leave you with that today. It was a little bit of a long one today, but I'm really big on this niching and narrowing of our focus. I know Pilates is great for everybody. I believe that. We all believe that. But In terms of my bottom line for my business, I know for a fact that the more I niche down and the more I target narrowly the market that I'm talking to at any given time, the more those folks buy and the happier everybody is, because they're getting the service that they need, and and I'm able to pay my rent. So it's a win both ways. I'll leave you with that. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of your month. Thank you so much for listening to the Pilates Goddess podcast. Music brought to you by Nerd Salad. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts, especially if you liked it. And please like, share, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks.